How can he harass you? He can't harass you. Which guy buying the party? What do you mean by that? Are we not touching his mouth? Can't you tap his mouth? Are you his mouth? What is the problem? No, excuse me, I just no, are you a candidate? Are you a candidate? Are you a candidate? Everybody clap.
President Bola Tinubu has congratulated candidates who emerged victorious in the weekend by-elections held in 16 constituencies across 12 states. The president also lauded the Independent National Electoral Commission (Inec) for the largely peaceful and well-managed elections. According to the results announced by Inec, the APC won in 12 constituencies. The All Progressives Grand Alliance (APGA) secured 2 seats, while the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) each won 1 constituency.
Well, what the president is doing is akin to Bobo say in Mama Soup, no sweet. That's exactly what the president is doing. His party recorded massive victories in the just concluded by-elections. So for the president, it's smooth, it's all good. The reason why he's heaping praises on Inec this morning. But beyond what the president has said, we also reports and videos that came out of these elections. In Anambra, for instance, there were attacks on persons, including state government officials. Is that what an election, an ideal election that our president should be praising, should be? The answer is no. Election is supposed to be as civil as people queuing up, thumbprinting, and maybe waiting for the votes to be counted before they leave. But ours is a situation where election now appears like a war situation. The military would mobilize, you see helicopters, you see armored cars and everything. The police would mobilize, they'll tell you mobilizing tens of thousands of personnel. DSS, immigration, NSCDC. Despite all these mobilizations, at the end of the day, the same anomalies that have characterized our elections in the past will still rear their heads. There was vote buying. Somebody was caught with over 20 million naira in the boot of his car. As we speak, the security agents were even scared to mention the political party the man is working for. They did not tell us the party he was working for or who sent him. There was intimidation of voters in certain areas. Dogs were arrested in Kano. So these are the things that have characterized our elections right from 1999 till 2025. Why should an average Nigerian wake up in the morning and leave what he's supposed to do? If not for any other thing, sleep. Why should the person abandon such a thing and go out, stand under the sun or under the rain, knowing that his vote will not count at the end of the day? So when people see things like this, they make up their mind that in Nigeria, votes may never count. And it leaves one wondering, this is 2025. The politicians are already talking about 2027. One would have expected electoral reform to be on the front burner, but nobody is saying anything. They are all comfortable with the way we run our elections because it gives them that room to manipulate the system, to maneuver and foist certain persons down the throat of people. Nobody's talking about electoral reforms. But as we speak, beavers did not work again in many areas. The almighty beavers that we invested billions of naira in did not work in certain areas. It was still manual, prone to manipulation and what have you. So for me, I expected our lawmakers at least to make this a big deal. But even if the lawmakers fail to do that because they stand to benefit from the chaos, how about the opposition political parties? Atiku Abubakar is not saying anything about electoral reform. Peter Obi is not saying anything about electoral reform, despite their experiences in the 2023 elections. One would have expected them to be championing this, mounting pressure on the current administration, but that is not what we are seeing.
Well, as for electoral reform, I think a certain young man, Peter,
That's right.
has gotten a large followership, and they have written petitions to Inec, to the National Assembly, and all that. But that is by the way. As for what's his name now, Atiku and Peter Obi talking, I want to believe that they are still assessing the election. But again, I think what you meant was that they've not been talking about electoral reform.
Exactly.
Rather, they are talking about coalition and who would lead and all that. But let's come to this election. When you make a statement about statistics and you qualify it with a word like largely successful, it means it was not totally successful. All right? That is where I'm looking at what the president said. And then I want to tell Nigerians quickly that they shouldn't look at the president as just Mr. President. He was a politician before he became a president. And so you do not expect him to say anything that is not favorable to his party. He has also congratulated the new man, Iwata, who is the interim chairman of APC. Is this an election that you can congratulate someone, that his mantle of leadership as it is, just a few weeks away, down the line, he has been able to win something. These are by-elections that were held in just 12 states anyway. So how could you congratulate someone in a state that, 12, by the way, out of 36 is like 20 or 24, if you ask me, plus Abuja is 25. So it's not enough to say Uhuru for a man who is just mounting, the leadership of the APC in interim capacity. That is number one. Two, we have discrepancies all over the place, as you have pointed out. INEC will never talk about, those who actually berated the system. Those who, did the wrong things that, some politicians will say did not happen. All they talk about is just the result. But those who lost are also talking. Where it was not proper, they are talking. So I see this by-election as a test case. A test case that will not give any clear way or a clear precursor to what we should expect in 2027. It is still the same story. INEC is not prepared. The security agencies, they're in cohort with those who will do whatever and get away with it. And of course, finally, the judiciary. He who has more money, especially it became more glaring since 2023, wins. And when we have institutions that are supposed to be the arbiter, they are now looking at who is in charge, the president. Now, INEC has given us a cliche since 2023, go to court. And I want to believe that is why they are quiet, because if persons were caught with large sums of money, if there were talks at certain polling stations, if the beavers did not work, what is the explanation for that? Is it a glitch again, or man-made error, or it was deliberate? Did we ever think about all of this? At the end of the day, there are winners. And the party in power has more of the winners. And so the president can as well throw up an one party.
That's right.